Right now, an invisible system is watching you. It logs the exact millisecond you move your mouse, tracking how long you look away, and it uses that data to calculate whether you deserve to keep your job. Before the shift to remote work, you had a human manager. They had flaws and they played favorites, but they evaluated your actual output. They understood context. If you stared at the ceiling for 10 minutes, a human boss might recognize that you were thinking through a complex problem. Then lockdowns forced offices to empty out. Executives sitting in their own homes panicked over a sudden lack of visibility. That paranoia triggered a massive spike in workplace surveillance that never retreated. We call this algorithmic management, or Boss-ware. By 2025, 7 out of 10 large companies will monitor their workers. And it's not just delivery drivers. Tracking has crept upward to evaluate doctors, civil servants, and creative professionals. The traditional white-collar office is practically obsolete. Instead of a manager walking the floor, companies deploy tangled webs of digital trackers to oversee staff remotely. Your value is no longer tied to the quality of your finished report, but to how well your digital habits align with the machine's model of a productive worker. The office has become a center for behavioral compliance, where following the digital rules of the software matters more than the work itself. Algorithmic management ignores the actual substance of your work. Instead, it operates as a relentless dragnet, vacuuming up the micro-movements of your entire day. The inputs are aggressive. Companies deploy software that records your keystrokes, takes automated screenshots of your monitor every few minutes, and uses GPS to geofence your physical location. Now, this tracking is penetrating the physical body. Employers are issuing biometric wearables that monitor heart rates to calculate stress. AI voice analysis scans customer service calls in real time, detecting a worker's emotional state by the pitch of their voice. This surveillance transforms your presence into a raw resource. Your daily activity is now a continuous feed of data being processed by a remote server. The algorithm takes that massive data dragnet and creates an invisible baseline for your behavior. It learns exactly how fast you type and exactly how quickly you usually respond to an email. As this document outlines, when you deviate from your baseline, the software reacts, taking on management functions by issuing automated nudges. This creates a punitive work environment where you must meet shifting efficiency benchmarks or face automated penalties. Psychologically, this gamifies your daily survival. You are infantilized, told to collect points or avoid red flags, while competing against opaque black box rules that you are never allowed to question. The algorithm never needs to sleep. It creates a closed loop where the finish line of productivity is always moving slightly out of reach. Software vendors defend algorithmic management with a very specific claim. They argue that AI removes human bias and error from performance reviews, creating a perfectly objective workplace. But a study from the UNSW Business School reveals a different reality. When managers are handed algorithmic ratings, they selectively use them only when it suits their personal agendas. The researchers call this managerial leniency bias. If the algorithm suggests a high rating, managers gladly pass it along. If it suggests a low rating, managers frequently ignore it to protect their relationships, or use the AI as a shield to avoid accountability. This selective deployment is dangerous. It provides a false veneer of mathematical objectivity to a process that remains deeply subjective and driven by human relationships. The AI does not eradicate workplace discrimination. It simply launders it. It gives human prejudice the unassailable cover of technological truth. This level of unblinking digital surveillance creates severe anxiety and burnout. Psychologists have a specific term for it: technostress. The constant fear of being flagged by a machine for a bathroom break or for a single moment of idle time strips away your basic dignity. It removes your agency. Workers are finding ways to push back through micro-rebellions. Employees are purchasing physical mouse movers, small devices that jiggle a computer mouse, to fake digital activity and trick the tracking software. On a macro level, institutions are finally reacting. The International Labor Organization recently adopted a landmark treaty explicitly designed to protect gig workers' personal data from algorithmic abuse. The next major battleground is the demand for algorithmic transparency, alongside the strict enforcement of data protection laws directly inside the workplace. The struggle for fair wages now includes the right to privacy and human autonomy, the right to work without being treated as a data point in a machine's calculation. But there is a final detail about Boss-ware that vendors rarely advertise. These systems are not static monitors. They are machine learning models. Every second of data they collect is used to refine their mathematical understanding of human efficiency. By following the algorithm's prompts and correcting your behavior, you are providing the labels for its training data. You are teaching the system the exact micro-steps and decision patterns it needs to eventually automate your role entirely. Your behavior is shaping the algorithm right now. Stay awake to the hidden systems controlling our world and subscribe to the Shadow Files.